At our top focus on WION right now, thousands of Israelis gathered outside the parliament building in Jerusalem on Sunday in the largest anti-government demonstration since the country went to war in October last year. US and Israel are expected to hold a virtual meeting to discuss the Biden administration's alternative proposals to an Israeli military invasion of Rafah. The meeting, which was supposed to take place last week, has become a contentious issue between Netanyahu and Biden. Now, White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan is expected to lead the U.S. side in the meeting. The U.S. team includes representatives from the Pentagon, State Department, and the U.S. intelligence agencies. Ron Dermer and Netanyahu's national security advisor are going to lead the talks from the Israeli side, with senior defense and intelligence officials participating in the talks. A senior Israeli official said that a second meeting in person is planned to take place as soon as next week. Well, on Sunday, Netanyahu understood the pain of the hostages' families and said he is doing everything to bring the hostages home. He also said that calling new elections in what he described as a moment before victory would paralyze Israel for 6 to 8 months and would paralyze the hostage talks as well. Netanyahu spoke while thousands of demonstrators rallied in Jerusalem in a show of frustration with his government, urging him to resign. The demonstrators asked the government to reach a ceasefire deal to free dozens of hostages held by the Hamas militants in Gaza and also to hold early elections. Nearly 6 months of conflict have renewed divisions over the leadership of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Though the country remains largely in favor of the war, Netanyahu has promised to destroy Hamas and bring all the hostages home. Yet those goals have been elusive so far. While Hamas has suffered heavy losses, it remains intact. Roughly half the hostages in Gaza were released during a week-long ceasefire in November. But attempts by international mediators to bring home the remaining hostages have failed. Talks resumed on Sunday with little expectation of a breakthrough. Hostages' families believe that time is running out. Demonstrators blame Netanyahu for failures of October 7th and say that deep political divisions over his attempted judicial overhaul last year that has weakened Israel ahead of the attack. Some also accuse him of damaging relations with the United States, which is Israel's most important ally. Netanyahu is also facing a litany of corruption charges which are slowly making their way through the courts. Critics say his decisions appear to be focused on political survival over national interest. Many families of hostages had refrained from publicly denouncing Netanyahu to avoid the leadership and making the hostages' plight a political issue. But some now want to change course. The crowd on Sunday stretched for blocks around the Knesset or Parliament building, and organizers promised to continue the demonstrations for several days. They urged the government to hold new elections nearly 2 years ahead of schedule. Thousands also demonstrated in Tel Aviv.